Hello. I was reading about the president's comments that his ministers who have been accused of corruption and other officials who've been accused of corruption have been accused without any evidence. And you see, I really sympathize with the president, and I said this earlier. I hadn't read his comments when I gave when I spoke in the first video. But you see, this is exactly the same thing I'm talking about. A minister like Chibuike Rotimi Amechi, he believes and he levels charges of corruption against people from the previous regimes, most notably the president and the former first lady and other officials, without evidence. And then this administration celebrates him, supporters of this administration celebrates him, and then now the president turns around because that same Amechi has been accused of corruption by Supreme Court justices, and then he gives this, he makes this statement. No, Mr. President, I agree with you, actually. In actual fact, I agree with you, but we have to be above board. You cannot have the same one set of principles for people of your administration, and then another set of principles for people, members of the previous administration. No, you can't, Mr. President. I mean, what we are seeing an orchestrated media trial. We're seeing people arrested by EFCC, and then all of a sudden somebody begins to leak stories to Punch, to Sahara Reporters, to Premium Times. And when you look at the stories, it could only have been leaked by the EFCC or the DSS or agents of the administration. They leak. So that's just the modus operandi. So now, why are you now complaining about when people are doing what you are doing yourself to your own officials and to your own ministers? Look, Mr. President, you say you're fighting corruption, and I really applaud you. But ask yourself this: what kind of corruption are you fighting when the gloves are off for people of the previous administration, but then when it's your own people, the gloves are on? Look, President Jonathan had a minister who wasn't even guilty of corruption. Professor Bath Inaji, he wasn't guilty of corruption. He was accused of being guilty of conflict of interest. And even upon investigation, it was found out that he had not done anything. But just that mere accusation, President Jonathan relieved him of his appointment as Minister of Power and appointed somebody else. When the story burst about Stella Odua when she was minister, even before any investigation was done, President Jonathan relieved her of her appointment. I know. So when you have people who have been accused in your administration, and then you are a noted, or you want people to believe that you are a noted anti-corruption fighter, and then instead of you doing the needful, you come out and you start defending them, and you're asking discerning Nigerians to come out. Look, where were you when people from the previous administration were being accused without evidence? I've been accused without evidence. A number of my colleagues have been accused without evidence. Today, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala has been appointed by a bank in Asia to their advisory board. She was accused without evidence. She was accused of all manner of things, of taking all manner of money. She was accused about the excess crude account by this same Amechi, of whom accusations are now being made. Now, why don't you apply the same principle that Amechi applied on others on him? This is patently unfair. And then, I was reading today, Sonala Olomen says, peace, President Jonathan's demons. I mean, that is so silly what he wrote there. He said that Jonathan swore that he was never going to declare his assets. That is a big lie. President Jonathan declared his assets. What he said was that he was not going to declare his assets publicly. Okay, now you have a so-called anti-corruption president. Has he declared his assets publicly and they've been verified? I mean, come on. So the thing there is this: is like there's so much hypocrisy going around. You're saying that, okay, well, the assets have not been verified by the Code of Conduct Tribunal, and then silly things like that. Look, and then a lot of people coming out. Look, the thing there is this: is that if you are going to keep on changing the rules, changing the rules of the game when it has to do with officials of the previous administration, the whole world is watching you. The whole world is watching you. I mean, people are reading the papers. You make exaggerated claims of corruption against people of the previous administration without any evidence. Then now, when people make claims of corruption against your people, you as president come out and say, "Oh, Nigerians should be discerning that the allegations are made without evidence." Then you stop making allegations without evidence. Not that I support the Supreme Court justices. I believe that if they are going to make such weighty allegations, they should come out with more facts, like dates when Amechi visited, because obviously Supreme Court justices, I feel that their houses should have some CCTV, so yes, I agree there should be some evidence. But you, Mr. President, President Muhammadu Buhari, and that your Amechi, the minister, both of you should also be circumspect and stop making accusations against others without evidence. Thank you. God bless you.